All right, so I got the 85 Trans Am back in here on the hoist. A couple things I got to take care of. My thermostat gasket ended up leaking. So I bought this metal surround one from Mr. Gasket. It's like rubber encased in metal. And I've had really good luck with these ones. For some reason, these tune ports, the paper gaskets sometimes leak on me. I had the same problem with my 86. Cooling fan switch, the plug-in is broken, so I had to pick up a new one of these. And I think the motor might be bad also, but I'm definitely having a problem with the cooling fan. And then I'm gonna look at the brakes on the car. And I think I have an exhaust leak. So those are the few things that I need to get done in order to get this car, and I want to clean it up. I'm going to throw some new wiper blades on it, kind of detail it a little bit, and I'm going to put it up for sale. I don't need this car, and I could rather sell this car and use the money to buy seats for my 79 Firebird. It's kind of my plan. So one of the problems I had was the wiring on the cooling fan wasn't working. And so I traced it down that the relay's mounted over here by the radiator, and the orange wire is supposed to be battery power. Now, I did replace all the fusible links that were on the starter on this car, and I ran them directly off the battery. So I was thinking that I forgot one of the fusible links back in the loom back there. Turns out I did not. Somebody else has actually used a Scotch lock and connected it to this piece of fusible link wire down here by the battery. And though I have power here, actually it won't even light up anymore. I did get a little bit of power before. Yeah, well, I'm not even out there. So it'll light up there, but it's not actually sending power through the wire running to the fuse. Well, it's not fused, it's a fusible link. And this is supposed to send 12 volts through the wiring loom over to this relay, which then allows this switch, which is broken. This goes into the cylinder head, and when that gets up to 220 degrees, it closes and turns on the cooling fan. So yeah, I found it. It's in a Scotch lock. I'm gonna get that fixed, and then the fan should turn on. Yeah, so a little closer look. This is the plastic Scotch lock, and you can see the corrosion inside there. And this was what was supposed to connect the main power feed for the cooling fan to the battery. And you can see it's just fried and melted. So to fix it, what I did here was I used a heat shrink bug connector, and I put a piece of fusible link in here, as well as a ring terminal that's gonna go directly to my battery, just like that. So I really hate these Scotch locks. I don't even like using them for trailer lights, which a lot of people used to use these for trailers because they were easy to put on. But all they do is poke a hole in the side of the wire and cause corrosion. So we got rid of this. This should fix my problem. I'm gonna go ahead and get that hooked up to the battery and check for power at my relay and make sure that I have power to the cooling fan. Well, and before I can be done here, you can see what they did. They actually put that wire, or the Scotch lock, right through the middle of the wire. And there's a bunch of corrosion in there. So I'm actually going to cut that section out and butt connect this piece back together to fix that. All right, as you can see, I got butt connectors instead of using Scotch locks, and I fixed that broken wire, which I'm pretty sure this is actually the fuse that runs the fuel pump. So that may have caused a problem later on in life had I not fixed that. So, but they're heat shrinked, so they should not have any corrosion. And come over here with my test light, and if I get down in here, I should have power on the orange wire. And there it is, test light lights. So now I should be able to turn the fan on. Well, let me plug the cooling fan back in. All right, so I have the cooling fan plugged back in. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the key on, and when I connect that to a ground, the relay should close and the cooling fan should run. So let's see if this works. Key on. And now this connected to a ground will be like the engine getting up to temperature. Oh. Well, that sounds terrible. So I'm pretty sure I need a cooling fan motor because that is not very good sounding at all. Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like the cooling fan motor is making a terrible noise, in which case that may have been why that wire burned up. I mean, again, a Scotch lock is never a good idea, but having excessive heat being created from a bad connection like this, due to the fact that the motor's bad, would obviously cause it to burn up and quit working. All right, I went ahead and I got the fan pulled out of here. And the one thing you have to remember is because of the rotation of the fan, the nut is a reverse rotation. So on this, instead of going counterclockwise to loosen it, you have to go clockwise to actually take it loose. So let me go ahead and get the fan pulled off of there, and we're just going to replace the motor because it doesn't come as an assembly. So I went ahead and I pulled the fan off by taking the nut off. Listen to how bad this is. That was definitely my noise. So 3 more bolts hold the motor onto the plastic housing. We're gonna go ahead and pull those off and switch that over. All right, so I went ahead and I got the new cooling fan motor installed and the fan put back on. I'm gonna go ahead and take and ground the wire to close the relay, and the fan runs. So I gotta go ahead and replace this plug yet. All right, so the next thing I have to do is I have a new plug to replace this one because it was broken. So I'm gonna go ahead, get that swapped over, and then the cooling system on this car should be fixed. I'll have to run it for a while and make sure we don't have a leak around that thermostat again. And other than that, basically give it a bath, some new windshield wipers, and I think that's about all I'm gonna do to it before I put it up for sale. Well, I got the cooling fan thrown in, and the only thing left now is to get this car cleaned up and taken for a test drive to make sure that the overheating problem is solved. Unfortunately, the weather here in Iowa has thrown a curveball, and though when I picked this car up, it was almost 70 degrees outside. Tomorrow, we're supposed to get up to 5 inches of snow. So the cold weather is back here in Iowa, and I'm gonna take this car and throw it back in the storage unit and pick up my Firebird because I still have to look at the noise that it was making when I dropped it off. So until I get a chance, I got to get some wiper blades and then get this thing to the car wash. Hopefully next week we're getting back up into the 60s after hopefully it's our last snow of the year. Yeah, it's not a bad sounding car. It's a little on the loud side. Give it a couple reps here. Not that my neighbors love me for this. It's a pretty good sounding car. Well, it's still running great. It's obviously way too cold out today to even get the temperature up to where the fan would kick on. It's been running for a while. We're not even up to temp yet. But I'm gonna go ahead and get it thrown in the garage. We're gonna take the Firebird home.